Hi there. Today about God. What is God? Does God exist? To answer these questions, we need to go beyond human experience. So, what is God? God is mind. Does God exist? Absolutely. Mind exists. There is nothing but the mind. When experienced directly, the experience of God is absolutely the same as experience of mind. People who've done it, who've experienced God directly, talk about the same things. Luminous, charged, vibrant presence, all pervading, empty of no shape or form, no color, no taste, no smell. Absolutely beyond human concepts. And all-knowing, because it pervades everything. It's absolutely self-aware. You know how they say, God hears everything, sees everything, God knows everything. Yes, mind is everything, all providing. There is nothing but mind. There is nothing but God. They're just different names. What we're talking about is the source of everything. The mind, God, one, absolute, thou, the way. Whatever you call it, they're just different names, just different human concepts. But to experience them directly, you have to go to another dimension. You have to go beyond human experience, beyond human condition. And that's what we can all do. Here and now, at any time, all of us. It's just tragic that there have been so many misinterpretations and maybe even misunderstandings of God throughout the history of humankind. Often even depicted in some sort of a human form, in some sort of a human environment, conducting this sort of a world in some sort of a human manner, with some human intent. It's just not like that whatsoever. The God as source or the mind as source are completely beyond human experience, completely beyond human concepts. And all this changing that we experience, this constant sort of a flux of things, is mechanical. It perpetuates itself. God has no hand in it. It's nothing to do with God wishing to punish someone or wishing to maybe congratulate or reward someone who's done something good and so on and so on. Nothing like that at all. It's all mechanical. It perpetuates itself. God as a source, mind as a source, are beyond human experience, beyond thoughts. All these thoughts, is God like this, is God like that? They are thoughts. They're not the source. They're not the God itself. They're not the mind itself. They're just the surface of the mind where the thoughts are running riot and creating all these different forms and shapes, like a form of a God that is actually just a form, an empty form. But the God itself can only be experienced in another dimension, transcending the human experience, the same as the mind. The same with Jesus. You know, the Jesus was, in all probability, just an enlightened being, a Buddha. And he wanted to share his direct experience of God with other people, to tell them the good news that the world that it seems to be is not, that it is actually very, very different, and then it can be experienced by everyone on a direct level, in other dimension. But, you know, what came out of it is just a completely different story, has even no resemblance to the Jesus or his life or his message. The same as Buddha, enlightened being. The message is there is a source of everything. That is beyond human condition. And what we experience as the world is just human conditioning, mental concepts. And there is a way beyond that can be reached by anyone. So you see all these so-called different religions, different gods, all these seeming differences between people, religions, nations, genders, color of skin, convictions, so on and so on, is just all rubbish. It is all the same. All is one mind, all is one God, and everything else is just mental concepts. All is one, all is the same. What is supposed to be this wonderful experience of a variety of forms and shapes and everything else just turned out to be this nightmare of the so-called world we live in. But there is a way beyond. You see, that is so important to understand. This other dimension, this transcending, this God, reaching the God, being with God, staying with the mind is all the same. It's here now for each of us, for everyone, to reach, to be with, to merge with. And this should be the message. Transcending is available to everyone. God absolutely exists, the same as mind exists, but not in the shape of human concept, not in the shape of a human experience as a thought, but beyond as a direct experience. And we can all be with God, as I always say, stay with the mind at all times, observe the mind. It is the same. So by all means, enjoy this other dimension. Be with God. Take care. Bye-bye.